Good morning, everyone, and welcome to today's presentation. I am delighted to have you here. Today, we will be discussing the qualification of the UPLC system. My name is Dr. S.K. Singh, and I hold a PhD in this field. Over the course of this session, we'll explore the key aspects involved in qualifying a UPLC system, including its installation, operation, and performance validation. I look forward to sharing valuable insights with you. Let's get started. Welcome to our discussion on UPLC, which stands for Ultra Performance Liquid Chromatography. It's a high-performance analytical instrument that we commonly use in quality control and quality assurance laboratories. Because of its complexity and precision, UPLC falls under the category of complex analytical systems, as outlined in USP 1058. Before we start using UPLC, it's essential that we go through a formal qualification process. This ensures that the instrument is properly installed, calibrated, and functioning as intended. By doing this, we can be confident that the data we generate is trustworthy. UPLC helps us ensure data integrity, meaning our results are accurate and tamper-proof. It also guarantees the accuracy and reliability of our analyses, which is crucial for making informed decisions. Most importantly, using UPLC correctly supports regulatory compliance. This is vital in the pharmaceutical industry, where adhering to strict standards is not just a requirement but a responsibility. Overall, understanding these aspects highlights how UPLC is a powerful tool that, when properly qualified and managed, upholds the highest standards in analytical testing. Let's take a closer look at the regulatory framework that guides our analytical instrument qualification process. First, we have USP 1058, which specifically addresses analytical instrument qualification, or AIQ. This provides a detailed approach to ensuring instruments are fit for their intended use through proper qualification steps. Next, we have FDA regulations, specifically 21 CFR Part 211, which is part of the current Good Manufacturing Practices, or CGMP. These regulations emphasize the importance of validated processes and qualified equipment to maintain product quality. Moving to Europe, there's the EU GMP Annex 15, which outlines qualification and validation requirements for manufacturing equipment, ensuring consistency and compliance across EU operations. Additionally, we have the ICH Guidelines, Q9 on Quality Risk Management, which encourages a risk-based approach to qualification, and Q10, the Pharmaceutical Quality System, which emphasizes a life-cycle approach to quality management. Now, the key point here is that regulatory expectations are clear. They demand a documented, life-cycle-based qualification process. This means we need to plan, execute, document, and maintain instrument qualification throughout its entire life cycle, ensuring ongoing compliance and quality. By adhering to these frameworks, we not only meet regulatory requirements, but also build a robust foundation for reliable and consistent analytical performance. This is fundamental to our overall quality system and continuous improvement efforts. Let's take a closer look at the analytical instrument lifecycle. As you can see, qualification follows a life cycle approach, which is essential for ensuring consistent performance and compliance. This life cycle includes several key stages: design qualification, or DQ, where we verify that the instrument design meets our requirements. Next is installation qualification, or IQ, which confirms that the instrument has been installed correctly and is ready for use. Then we move to operational qualification, or OQ, where we test that the instrument operates according to specifications under normal conditions. Following that is performance qualification, or PQ, which demonstrates that the instrument performs reliably during actual production or testing scenarios. But it doesn't end there. Continuous monitoring is required throughout the instrument's life to maintain quality and compliance. This life cycle approach isn't just best practice. It's actually mandated under regulations like USP and GMP standards. So, following this structured approach, helps us ensure ongoing validity, quality, and regulatory compliance for our analytical instruments. Let's talk about design qualification, or DQ. This is essentially a documented process that verifies that the UPLC system meets the User Requirement Specification, or URS. In other words, we're making sure that the system aligns with what the user needs it to do. This process includes several key components. First, vendor selection. Choosing the right vendor is crucial because it impacts the quality and reliability of the equipment. Next, we look at the technical specifications to confirm that the system's capabilities match the requirements. Another important aspect is software compliance, specifically with 21 CFR Part 11, which sets the standards for electronic records and signatures. Ensuring software compliance is vital for maintaining regulatory standards and data integrity. It's important to note that this qualification is performed before making a purchase, so we're making informed decisions up front. Overall, the goal of the DQ is to confirm that the system is suitable for its intended use, giving us confidence that it will perform as expected within our workflow. This step helps ensure quality, compliance, and ultimately reliable results in our processes. Now, let's talk about the documentation involved in the IQ process. First, we need to review the installation report, calibration certificates, SOP availability, software installation and backup procedures, and all vendor documentation. These documents are crucial because they help us verify that everything was done correctly from the start. It's essential to ensure that the delivery, configuration, and environment meet the required specifications before moving forward. The core of this step is the installation qualification, or IQ, which confirms that the UPLC system has been installed properly. When we perform IQ, we check several key points. First, we verify the instrument details, such as the model number, serial number, and the software version. These details ensure we're working with the correct equipment and that it's properly configured. Next, we look at the installation environment. This includes confirming that temperature and humidity levels are within specified ranges and that power supplies are stable and suitable for the system. We also check utilities like gas and solvent lines, making sure they are correctly connected and functioning. Finally, we verify all documentation related to the installation. This step confirms that everything has been set up according to the predefined specifications. By thoroughly reviewing these elements, we ensure that the system has been installed correctly and is ready for the next phases of qualification and operation. Let's now look at the regulatory expectations for instrument qualification. These are based on the User Requirement Specification, or URS, and the manufacturer's specifications. Essentially, they outline what the instrument needs to do to meet quality and compliance standards. This includes several key aspects. First, instrument function tests to ensure everything operates correctly. Then, software security measures and maintaining audit trails, which are critical for data integrity and traceability. It's important to note that these aren't routine analyses. They are part of the qualification process to verify the system's proper functioning. Now, specifically regarding operational qualification, or OQ, this step verifies that the instrument operates under controlled, specified conditions. It's about demonstrating that the UPLC system functions as intended in a controlled environment. Typical tests involved in OQ include checking the pump flow rate accuracy, ensuring the gradient system delivers consistent results, verifying the detector's wavelength accuracy, assessing auto-sampler precision, and confirming that pressure limits are maintained within safe ranges. The main goal here is to confirm the functional performance of the instrument in a laboratory setting. This ensures that everything works reliably and accurately before moving into routine use, aligning with our overall goal of ensuring quality and compliance in our analytical processes. Now, let's talk about ongoing monitoring. It's essential that we perform periodic verification to keep everything running smoothly. Typically, this should be done every 6 to 12 months, but also after maintenance or repairs, or if the equipment has been relocated. These checks include calibration and preventive maintenance, which help ensure our instruments stay accurate and reliable over time. This ongoing process is crucial because it guarantees continued performance reliability, meaning the equipment performs consistently during routine use. To further confirm that our instruments are suitable for their intended purposes, we also conduct performance qualification, or PQ. PQ involves system suitability tests, analyzing standard samples, and performing replicate injections. These steps are vital because they demonstrate that the instrument can consistently produce valid results and is fit for the specific application we need it for. Overall, these monitoring practices are key to maintaining the integrity and trustworthiness of our analytical processes. Now, let's talk about requalification and change control. These steps are required after several key events such as major repairs, software updates, component replacements, or even relocations. Essentially, whenever there's a significant change to a system or equipment, we need to reassess and ensure everything still functions correctly and remains compliant with regulations. What's important here is that we use a risk-based approach to determine the level of requalification needed. This helps us prioritize efforts based on the potential impact of the change. Requalification, in this context, is critical because it ensures that despite any modifications or updates, we maintain continued compliance with safety, quality, and regulatory standards. It's all about safeguarding the integrity of our systems and, ultimately, the safety of the patients and users relying on them. So, in summary, whenever major changes happen, requalification acts as a checkpoint to confirm everything remains in order, aligning with our overall goal of maintaining high standards through controlled and well-documented processes. Let's talk about documentation requirements, which are absolutely essential in our industry. First, we have qualification protocols, including IQ, OQ, and PQ. These are the foundational steps to ensure our equipment and processes are properly installed, operational, and performing as intended. Next, we need to keep thorough records of raw data and reports, because these form the backbone of our evidence and traceability. Deviations and CAPA are also critical components. When something doesn't go as planned, documenting deviations and the corrective and preventive actions taken help us identify root causes and improve our processes. Change control records are equally important. They show how and why modifications are made, ensuring we maintain compliance and quality throughout changes. And finally, an audit trail review is vital. It provides a detailed history of all activities, showing who did what and when, which is crucial for transparency and accountability. All of these documentation elements are not just best practices. They are critical for inspections by regulatory agencies like the FDA and EMA. Well-maintained, comprehensive documentation demonstrates our commitment to quality and compliance, and it's often what inspectors focus on to verify that we're operating within regulatory standards. Now, let's take a closer look at some common deficiencies we often encounter. One of the key issues is incomplete IQ, OQ, and PQ execution. This means that sometimes these critical qualification steps aren't thoroughly completed or documented, which can lead to gaps in validation. Another frequent problem is the lack of traceability to the User Requirements Specification, or URS. Without clear links back to the original requirements, it becomes difficult to prove that the system truly meets the intended needs. Poor documentation practices are also a widespread challenge. Inadequate or inconsistent records not only hinder compliance, but can also make audits more complicated. Speaking of audits, missing requalification is another issue. If systems or equipment aren't requalified when needed, it raises questions about ongoing performance and compliance. Lastly, data integrity gaps are a significant concern. These gaps can compromise the reliability of data, which is crucial for regulatory approvals and overall quality assurance. All of these deficiencies often lead to frequent observations during regulatory audits, which can delay projects or even result in penalties. So, Understanding and addressing these common pitfalls is essential to maintaining a compliant and robust quality system. So, to wrap things up, let's look at the conclusion. The USB 1058 life cycle, which includes DQ, IQ, OQ, and PQ, really provides a comprehensive framework for ensuring that our analytical methods are robust and reliable. Following this structured approach helps us achieve consistent and trustworthy analytical results. And of course, these reliable results are essential not only for scientific accuracy, but also for meeting global regulatory requirements. Compliance isn't just a box to check. It's integral to maintaining trust and integrity in our processes. Now, achieving this level of reliability and compliance requires more than just following a checklist. We need to adopt a risk-based approach, meaning we identify potential issues proactively and prioritize our efforts accordingly. This way, we focus on what matters most, reducing uncertainties. Additionally, continuous monitoring is key. The landscape is always changing. New regulations, new challenges, and ongoing oversight ensures we're staying compliant and maintaining the quality of our analytical methods over time. So ultimately, by integrating the life cycle approach with a risk-based mindset and continuous monitoring, we can consistently deliver reliable results that meet global standards and support our overall quality and compliance objectives. For further support, please don't hesitate to reach out. If you have any questions or need additional information, I'm here to help. You can contact us through the provided channels. Thank you so much for your time and attention today. I really appreciate your engagement and look forward to assisting you further.